Voice for the voiceless. Voice for the voiceless.
Media watch media.
Voice for the
The
voiceless.
only media that have been speaking against bad government. Being consistency since 1944.
Voice for the voiceless. Voice for the voiceless.
Umu
Voice for the voiceless.
wame.
Voice for the voiceless. Voice for the voiceless. Voice for the voiceless. Voice for the voiceless.
Voice for the voiceless.
Voice for the voiceless.
I don't want you. We have been seeing all you guys have been doing. And we recommending to everyone in Nigeria, saying that you guys are the number one. I don't want you.
All right. Thank you very much, my people. I appreciate you all. It's good to be back again. Please, guys, help us to press on the like button. Help us to share. This is going to be a late night discussion. So we're going to be talking about so many things that is affecting us in Nigeria. But the one I would like you guys to focus on, although the one in Edo State is also very important, but the major one is this one right there on the screen. What will Tinubu do to the 15 names of terrorism financiers as revealed? What is he going to do with them? Because we already started discussing it earlier on. So let's talk about these things. We cannot continue to leave these people that is committed different kind of crimes or corruption in a country to go scot-free. So these are the part of the things we're going to be talking about. Then in Edo State, remember that I presented this certificate earlier on, concerning the governorship candidates of APC in Edo State, who got his what is it called, WAEC in 2008. And he was born 1972, August 29, 1972. So how, you got your WAEC at the age of 36. Is that possible? Is a question I'm asking. So these are part of the things that we're going to be discussing today. So I'll leave the panel. I don't know who is going to moderate it, but you guys can moderate yourself. For now, there should be a leader. So you guys allocate a leader for yourself. Nobody should call me. Thank you very much, my people. The floor is yours.
Give us our mandate. Are you there? Are you there? Give us our mandate.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay. Can you please lead us?
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Welcome to this evening run. To the comments session, welcome. We appreciate everyone. Well, let me just probably open up based on what Mr. Elvis talked about. One, on the issue of the list of terrorists released. I want to believe that this is just like trying to throw under bones to Nigeria, because whether you believe it or not, Tinubu is not just it's not new to it's not new to the government of Nigeria. I mean, whether you believe it or not, I mean, he was a governor 2 times in Lagos State, became a senator. The wife became a senator. So basically, they know about Nigeria government. Don't forget that Tinubu went to Asoro when Buhari was there. No, when Jonathan was there. Now, Tinubu said in 2014 that they're going to do everything possible to make sure that Jonathan leave the seat of power. And once he leaves, when Buhari comes into power, crude oil is going to be like like the other of the day in Nigeria, and then Nigeria they will start recruiting 3 million Nigerian youth every year. Where is that is said then? Now talk about the terrorist list. They know, he knows, all of them know who the terrorists are. Would they go after them? They cannot go after them, of course, because they are all in it. It's just to trade bone and that bone to Nigeria. But then on the Edo election, Edo is critical. I mean, if that guy was born in 1970 something and then he got certificate, his wife, maybe he did GCE. I'm not sure if that's GCE that Mr. Elvis showed the results. Because if it's GCE, I mean, it doesn't matter whether you are born in 1952 or you can do GCE at any time. And WAEC is WAEC, then that's a different ballgame. But if it's GCE, then or even WAEC too, you can go and do a external candidate. You go back to the school and then, but I will leave that to the panel for others to talk on. Um, as we have it on the screen, I think Mr. Jonathan is the first person that will go. Then after Mr. Jonathan, we have Dr. CM.
It's me that's supposed to speak
Oh,
before we
sorry,
can
sorry,
leave.
Mr. Midwest. Sorry, people. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. Go. You go. Your final submission from the last, but you can take it up and then we'll come to Mr. Jonathan. So we have 1 hour, but let's make sure that we do justice to the time. Maybe we'll take 5 minutes based on what we have on the screen, and then we can go from there. So you have 5 minutes. You can go ahead, sir.
Yeah. I greet everybody. The thing is that I think we said a lot about this list that has just been released. And the truth of the matter is that the government is not serious. We live in a country where government has never solved any problem since the history of that country. But what they normally do is to allow Nigeria to adjust and take it as a normal thing. So once we are accustomed to it, they just bypass it. Uh, but it's very unfortunate that we got into a point where either they solve it or the problem will consume the country. They are kidnapping people. Terrorists have been sponsored by people that are influential, and the government need to stop it because this issue that have to do with life and the international community are watching, and a lot of people are concerned. And again, the thing is not just going to stop like that, just in that level of taking people for ransom. And those guys, as they're doing it, a time will come when you will see them seizing territory. That is when the real battle will start. That the government have to liberate those space, or other people will not decide to say, okay, enough is enough. And I don't think the government is going to do anything about those lists. Tinubu, as a president, is from certain part of Nigeria, particularly the western part. We are so divided now. And the strength that will enable him to venture into society things is only when everybody rallying against him, rallying around him, particularly the southern part. Because this is a very, very serious issue. One, you have to also be concerned about his political mandate, because those who are with these guys or supporting them, hating them, they also want the power. So if care is not taken, they may even end this administration in the next 4 years. And you will surprise the power will shift or not. I don't know how it's going to be for everybody. That's why they have to do their best as much as possible to make sure they really go after these guys. And doing so, they should also prepare that people are going to fight back. So I don't know how he's going to deal with that anyway. And I will come to my state as well. The thing is this, me personally, I want because the last 8 years was very, very bad in terms of Obaseki administration. Like Oshomole, I can't call Oshomole a failure. I still have some point and some regard for him when he was there. He did his best, because if he didn't do anything for Edo people, he wouldn't have been able to win the heart of the people. And if he didn't win the heart of the people, he would have also succeeded to put Obaseki there. So people love him, people cherish him. Though the way they structure the country, I don't think they structure it for development. They just structure it for people to come here as a governor and they become billionaire. That's all. If you go across the entire 36 state that was created by gun and bullet, without any consultation across the country, in some state you can see some structure to clap for. But when you look at the life of Nigeria, starting from Lagos to Maiduguri, you're going to see rusty life, nothing for the life of the common man. And that's why everybody's running away. Because it took that avenue of investing into the life of the people. So there's
Oga
nothing.
Midwest, I'm sorry, sir, that I have to quickly come in. To the best of my knowledge, you're a supporter of APC, right?
For me, I don't have party anyway. I don't have. It depends on the candidate. That's
Okay,
just the truth.
okay. That is my belief right from time. You're a supporter of APC, but let's assume for now you don't have a party in Edo State. If you look at Edo State, the governorship.
He has 1 minute left, though.
Yes, please, let him just answer this quickly. In Edo States, if you look at the people, the governorship candidate now, they lined up, for to be the next governor of Edo State, whether we like it or not, one of them is going to be the next governor. We have the Olumide Akpata from Labour Party. We have Aswa Nkodaro from PDP, while we have Monday Okpewolo, which is the one that we presented just now with the WAEC and all that, from APC. I believe the complaint is getting too much. Everybody is complaining. Obaseki do this, he didn't do that. Now you already have people now, whether you like it or not, you fold your hands, you talk or you don't talk. One of them will certainly become your governor in the next few months. So who do you want amongst three of them to be your next governor of Edo State?
Okay.
Thank you.
Just to cut, I don't have three anymore. I just have two, Olamide and Okpebo. So that's why I say I don't have party yet. It's still
Olamide Okpewolo is your choice.
Yeah, the guy for Labour and APC. For as far as PDP is concerned, that one is cancelled. Those set of people there, they don't have what it takes to assist their people. Because my reason is it, in my own conviction, Nigeria is not structured for development. Just pray to have at least a leader that have his people in his heart. At least when they are stealing, they will still do their best to protect their people, to champion the interest of their people. And that's what I'm hoping for. Because there's no way you can build a society without accountability and transparency. So among these people, we're going to choose.
Sir,
Certainly,
you have gone 1 minute above your time.
Okay, but let me round up this. Among all these people that we're going to choose, we're going to choose someone that will become a millionaire when he's leaving the office. That's how they structure Nigeria. Can't take that away. Should not allow them to be deceiving us. So, but all I need is that the one that the people can talk to when something is too much. Maybe people run to the king and they try to reach him. He will also listen, because a tree cannot make a forest. That's just my belief. So I will still watch both of them carefully, and before me, I will make my choice. But PDP is cancelled. Those are not, we should not just test those people any longer. Those English and grammars are deception. So that's just my belief.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I will only have maybe about 10-second follow-up question for you. With what you're seeing that APC is doing to the country now, do you still have trust in APC? A yes or no answer question.
See, APC is a party.
A yes or no answer question.
No. As I told you, I don't believe in party.
Okay.
APC is with Nigerians, and I don't have trust in Nigerians anymore. But we must take risk to have a leader. That's what I believe.
Okay. Thank you very much. Mr. Jonathan, are you there, sir?
Okay.
Okay, you have 5 minutes. Let's say your side of this, your contribution.
I'm not on my WhatsApp. Yeah.
Mr. Jonathan, are you there?
Okay,
let's come to Mr. Dr. CM then. I think Mr. Jonathan is busy.
In fact, these are the number one enemy of the state, if I should put it that way. They are the greatest enemy Nigeria is having. For you to be sponsoring terrorism, to be destroying the country from inside. I wonder what they are going to do with them. They had if the thing is that Tinubu has got a lot of opportunity, like Professor Zekome said, to write his name in gold. Give the people put in motion the machinery for a new constitution. Nigerians won't forget you about. I mean, we'll always remember you for that. Now look at the issue of restructuring, or what they call devolution of power. These are some of the things I don't know what he's doing, or whether that is part of the agreement he must have signed allegedly, that he won't touch anything. We leave everything status quo remains. Rather, Buhari called it Ruga. Now he's saying Brinkland, which is not in their manifesto. That is the thing about this APC. Now, Tinubu is calling for land from every state governor. In fact, that is the greatest insult you will give to the states. Now that we have seen this, what is it called, the list of the people sponsoring terrorism, he should be a statesman, rise up. I mean, be your own man, make a presidential pronouncement on them and deal with them. Because these are the people, these are the enemies of Nigeria. Whatever terrorism has done in Nigeria, the economy, the security, even infrastructure, everything destroyed, is these people. Now they've given you the list. What are you going to do about it? Or are you still interested in holding in Nnamdi Kanu and be telling the world you are trying him? When these are the real terrorists and you are holding somebody who is innocent, at least has gone through the court and not convicted. Now you want to go and start it again. So to that extent, I don't. This is the defining moment. I never knew this list because I had it. Now that it has come from the government officially, something must have to give. I will judge this government based on this list. Economy, I can say those ones aside, because we've been talking of insecurity, insecurity, insecurity. Now you've seen people sponsoring it that are putting. In fact, these are one of the reasons why the economy collapsed, and then not so many companies like Smith, is it? All these, so many companies left Nigeria, even those that have been in Nigeria for over 60 years. So if he did not do anything, I don't know that yes, there's really a deal behind the door. I don't, but then now you have to question, why was the name released in the first place? Why are you telling us? I know what I'm saying now will be what most people will be thinking. Now that we've known people that are responsible for our predicament, what do we do? Now for Edo governorship seat, I don't know what it is with APC and certificate forgery. I mean, no, well, not forgery, please. Let me not use a bad word, but that thing looks somehow. Somebody born
You have
1972.
1 minute left, sir.
Oh, thank you. Stayed, was a teenager almost during Ambrose Ali years of free education, sort of. No secondary school. Or he must have attended. He felt that he couldn't make the grades. Now, in 2008, he now went in to go and get this. Well, he has a lot of explanation to do. What people should be asking him is, what have you been doing in the intervening years between probably 72 plus 10, 82? So if you finish your primary school at the age of 10, or from 84, you may be in secondary school, or what happened up until 2008. I don't know whether he has got a postgraduate. He has had a postgraduate. He went to the university after 2008 of getting a school start, or
How? We
eh,
did. Where get?
no. Well, okay. No, okay. So you know go.
You know, if you enter school without we did now 5 credits now. You don't forget. You
No,
don't leave Nigeria self.
no. What I
Five
want to know
credits
is,
you must attain before you can get any institutional
yeah,
application answered.
I know, I know, but it's always good you judge people based on the whatever they tender. So in his this thing profile now, so he did not attend any higher institution. That's what I'm trying to say, because ordinarily after 2008 school start,
He
he may
didn't,
then.
he didn't even have any certificate. That was why he
Yeah,
went to do this one.
and they want to be governor. Anyways, for the voters in Edo, let me leave it here so that others will have their way. I will come back to it. Thank you. Thank you. Now, give us our mandate. I finished. I'm through.
Is it my turn now?
Give us don't sleep, safe.
Give us a mandate. Yeah. Okay, let me just go ahead. Thank everyone for. Can you all hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I
I
think
thought you
I'm
guys
on.
were. Can you hear me? Just hold on, please. I thought I was speaking
Yeah,
and
I can.
remember
We
you
can
guys.
hear you.
It's Mr. Chris Dublin that's supposed to go now. Let Mr. Chris go and then
Oh,
you.
okay, okay, okay. Thank you.
Mr. Chris, over to you, sir.
Good evening, everybody. First of all, I need to salute Ninja Watch for giving us this opportunity to continue to ventilate. And Ninja Watch, thank you very much. You are highly lifted. Well, concerning the terrorist list that was released, I think the issues are very clear. We should understand that this is not about Nigeria or whatever. It's Tinubu trying to stamp his authority. He needs to show to the Buhari gang that yes, we are in charge. And don't forget that Tinubu gang is the ACN faction of the APC, and Buhari's gang was the CPC faction of the APC. And when Buhari's gang came to power, they literally sidetracked everybody from Tinubu's camp, apart from one or two traitors like Rauf Arigbeshola and the liar that will never stop lying, Lai Mohammed, you know, traitors to Tinubu. So, and secondly, I think Tinubu is also trying to pass a message to Sheikh Gumi. He's also trying to pass a subtle message to him that look, before now they make mouth, we still get this list for you because that list has been there. And you can see that the first person to respond was even the so-called Sheikh Gumi, telling them that they cannot try any person on that list. So that is just that. It's about Tinubu understand what power is. He knows that in the game of power, stamping authority is very crucial. In the game of power, especially if it comes to governance, it has nothing to do with being good. That was why I like one of the panel when he was admonishing Mr. Ninja Watch that yeah, even though Mr. Ninja Watch tries to balance everything, but he still have to use the big stick when he needs to, and that's one thing I like him for. So that's just all Tinubu is trying to prove, and that's the area where Jonathan failed. You know, where he failed to use the power when he was supposed to. So, in my view, that's what Tinubu is trying to do. It's not about fighting terrorism. It's not about you and I. It's not about anything that has to do with Nigeria, because they all know the solution to all the problems in Nigeria. We can't keep blaming the common people on the street. We can't keep blaming ourselves. They know exactly what to do to stop the problem ravaging the land. Then, concerning the Edo State election, I think the issues are clear. If we even want to assume that the three of them, I personally, I have taken a stand. So before I even say anything, I want to make it very clear that I'm for Olumide Akpata. I don't know him before, but I've seen his previous activities. I've taken time to study him. Yeah. So if Labour Party had gone for another person, a less credible or suspicious character, probably I wouldn't have been supporting. Probably I use that word instructively.
1 minute left, sir.
Oh, so well, then I'll just quickly round up. Then, yeah. So that's it. If we have to look at all the three of them, let's assume they all have equal standing, equal credibility, equal efficiency. They can perform equally. I still will go for Olumide Akpata, even if the other two, if they are still slightly better than Olumide Akpata, I will still go for Olumide Akpata for obvious reasons, because he is representing Labour Party, and if he already has people to look onto. Yesterday, I was listening to Olumide Akpata. Do you guys know that he already had a 3 days meeting with the man in Abia State, with the governor of Abia State? He said he had a meeting with him and he has asked him, how are you doing it, sir? So that shows you that this man is ready for the task ahead. So, like I was saying, even if he's a little bit lesser than the other two, I will still go for him because I know that there's Peter will be there. His Excellency Peter will be to keep him in check. And there is
Okay,
The
let's bring it
governor of
in,
Abia
in
State,
10
that
seconds.
Oti, that we will all keep pointing to. If you want to talk, say, what about Oti in Abia State? So, and thank you very much. Give us our mandate.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chris Dublin, for that submission. I will just second what you said. The only painful side is that with what and I mean everybody's entitled to their own opinion, to their support and everything. See, we mirror either what we Yoruba will say "Eshinwaju ni tẹ̀yìn wò sáré." Now, there is nothing good that the APC candidate of Edo State can look up to when it comes to looking up to somebody, whether the president in court or the or the members of the houses or the various governors that they have in all of the states. Nothing good. Alex Oti is just a governor. They just signed into law that all the ex-governors of Abia State collecting pension, they all cancelled. Abia State,
And their deputy.
I just saw on X. Do you know now people now go to night market in Abia State? I just saw it on X now. Women they stay in the streets in the night, and they were just they were doing their business and talking about what is going on in Abia State. Olumide Akpata had got something to look up to. And if he has gone for that 3 days briefing and 3 days learning, I think he's in the right direction. It is now left for Edo State to choose who their governor will be. We'll leave that to the next panelist. Mr. Black Panther, over to you, sir. 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Give us our mandate. Thank you for moderating, giving us the opportunity to speak again. And also to Nigeria Watch, thank you for giving us these hours to speak on some issues that we didn't really critically analyze. I want to say here concerning the terrorist list. You see, there was a reason why I asked that question. And I have learned to always ask myself question before I come forward. And anytime I read anything that is very tough, I'll ask myself question. So that as I ask myself the question, I'll be able to reason why didn't it go this way? I asked that question because I have pre-assumed the answer myself. So I wanted a backup. And thank Mr. Tone for being my backup. And he said exactly what was on my mind. And that really opened my eyes now to really go deeper into it. One, I asked myself another question. Why did Buhari held that list? And why did Dubai government brought out the list and gave it to Buhari? Some of us might say because he's the president of Nigeria. Yes. And there's some other things, a reason why he did that. I believe Dubai meant well for Nigeria. And I believe Dubai might be under compulsion to release that list. Maybe something or some other country wanted them to release the list so that the Nigerian government can look into it and sort out the issue very well so that the insurgent does not generate into a bigger thing whereby Nigeria will not be so divided that we don't have an option than to go the other way. Now, Buhari, to me, I asked me, why did Buhari keep the list? To me, two ways. Buhari understand what terrorism actually can cause to a nation? Or will I say Buhari kept the list because maybe most of his tribesmen were on that list, or maybe most of his friends were on that list, that he himself was shocked that he didn't want to release it? Or will I say he was politically pressured not to release it? Then I asked myself another question. Why is it that Agbado is releasing it now? And I said to myself, is it because Agbado want to make sure that he get accepted, or want to prove a fact that, yes, he really meant well for the Nigerian state as a whole? Or does it mean that there is a scapegoat somewhere, that they need to make a scapegoat so that every other person, the Western world, cannot look and mirror Agbado, that Agbado is doing the right thing? Because I said one thing here, that Nigeria is not a friend of America. I know why I'm saying it, because I've dug into it, and I don't want to, I want that thing to go into the minds of everybody so that we can also go ahead to investigate what I said. Does it mean that there's a pressure on him from America to sort that list out and bring the list out, or they will bring that list out? Because I'm damn sure the list is in the White House. I'm damn sure the list is there. They've seen the list. So is he acting, or is he acting under the pressure that I want to make Nigeria feel that I am the president and I'm not like Buhari? But remember, you told us
Let's bring
that
it
you will
home in 1
continue,
minute, sir. You go 1
that you
minute.
must continue from where Buhari stopped. I'll leave that. Then to Edo State, the man in Edo State, I have not seen any fake results in there, because you can do WAEC at any age you please. It might not be opportune to attend to do WAEC, maybe some constraint, because everybody comes from different home. But under that throne of saying he was born in 1972 and he did his WAEC so time, Nigeria educational system give you a freelance to go as an external student, register in a registered school, and do your first living certificate. Then also they give you another room. You can also do your external, that is the GCE. You can also do it. So until they will prove me wrong that it is fake, when WAEC will come back, that result is fake, before we will now go further. But I want us to look at it very clearly. Does it mean that Nigeria, we don't want the best? Okay, sorry, just 10 seconds. We don't want the best to rule us. We always want the tail to rule us. A man that scored I seen that list about 6D or 5D with 1 credit only. That is not augur, that does not augur well with me, because education is very paramount. It opens your foresight to see the problem of the people. We need well-educated people, not half-educated people, to rule over a state, because a state is quite different from a local government. Is he qualified to be the governor of a state? Why is he brought forward? That's the question. And to me, we have 2 options. We have Edo State have option. It's either they go for the truth, or let's wait and let all of them sit down and they debate, and we'll know the right place to take, the right position we take in Edo State. That is all. To me, for now, I wouldn't say that result is fake until WAEC comes and put a stamp on it.
Okay.
But the only clause I have there is that result, that man is not qualified to rule Edo State for now, because we are going through a lot of economic and a lot of things that we need technocrats and people that are well read to lead us.
Thank you for your submission, Black Panther. Thank you. Well, if I will probably add to it, I mean, that he had a D, that he has D, does not, for me, may not be an issue of concern. At least he went to school, but we'll leave that to the Edo people to actually decide. The only thing is that guy, for me, I mean, I'll just leave it open, but I don't think that person is actually ready to do anything for Edo State. Now, the next person will be Madam Luke. I think somebody unmuted. Tunanya, can you mute, please? No, it's not you, Madam Luke, and then we'll come to you. Can you mute, please?
Tunanya was before me.
Well, I'm going by what I see on the screen.
Okay, that is fine. Oh well.
Yeah.
It's going to be quick. Like we said, we know we have different laws for different parts of Nigeria, and we know people who are calling the shots. We know that there are stepchildren of Nigeria, and we know they are the chosen children of Nigeria, and we know exactly where we all stand and where we all fall in the hierarchy of things in Nigeria, or the hierarchy of kingdoms in Nigeria. And that is epitomized by the brazen, uncultured responses Gumi continues to churn out in the public and social media space. Now, we don't want to go tribal, but we know that everything we do in Nigeria is about tribe and religion. How the worst of the worst have come to rule Nigeria over the years, progressively getting worse, is a no-brainer. Because when you have the law to the highest bidder, and also the lack of education and use of brute force to govern a country, and this is what we have. Of course, none of the terrorists he did. He see, he wasn't even objective, and that is to tell you that by the time we find out what is happening in Delta State, I don't think we would ever know, because this is an orchestrated attempt to send a message as to what can happen. And even if it takes lies and sacrifice of their own military, they would do anything for a cover up. They would do anything for a cover up. While we don't know that there's scuttles or skirmishes between groups in the Niger Delta area until the policemen show up there. I mean, there's just something all fishy about this story. But we will leave that for morning, another day. The Edo State governorship, well, the race has begun, and the can of worms are beginning to open up. So it's going to be entertaining for sure. But like I said, and we always say, all roads lead to INEC. Thank you, my people.
Thank you very much, Madam Luke, for that submission. Thank you. Mr. Tunanja, over to you, 5 minutes.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Regarding the certificate, I gather that is an APC guy, but I'm not for APC, that's for sure. Given all the mess they've left the country in the last how many years. But regarding the certificate itself, its qualification, personally, I don't mind too much whether you're a school leaver or whether you are even a secondary school leaver. If you have the right intention, you have the right people around you to advise you on what to do. Well, I think we have to start looking at education as just a mechanism for administering knowledge. It doesn't necessarily give you wisdom or wiseness. Because I want to mention the right mindset that you need to have. Because if somebody is very, very intelligent and well educated, and they don't have the right mindset, they become even a greater problem. As we've seen in our country, many of some of these our leaders, they have education, but where has it gotten us? All they go there and do is make money and take it to foreign countries to go and enjoy themselves. So I don't use the education part to it kind of look at him and think, oh, maybe he's incapable of doing the job. But I look at it from the point of view that the party he belongs to, and their ideology is clearly in the wrong direction. And I don't see him going there to try to change the party for the better. The fact that he joined the party is enough even to tell you that, because there are other parties that is out there that he could have joined. So on that front, then obviously I can't support someone like that. Regarding the way Nigerian these security forces treat the Nigerians, I think this is part of the problem. Why people feel a little bit they need to push back whenever you say recruit more of them, because they have treated Nigerians very badly. Um, the doctrine that they follow is that kind of bloody civilian doctrine, as I like to call it, and that mentality has to change. I'm surprised that hasn't been challenged even more strongly, because it shouldn't exist now. Jesus Christ, I can't believe we are still talking about this 24 years into so-called democracy, and we are still talking about our security officials treating Nigerians as if they are just like fodder. You can just take them out whenever you get angry. Take innocent people out. Sometimes the way they take criminals, people complain like, you are too brutal. You just go out and just kill everybody. You don't even take them to court. But these ones are innocent people. You take them out too, because you're angry that somebody attacked you, which is wrong. All of them are wrong. I think was it somebody that said two wrongs cannot make a right. You can't just somebody cannot kill police, military officials, and then you go and start killing civilians in the process. That is just something we have to seriously address. The doctrine of all our security forces, and whenever I hear them talking about, the way they address civilians, it makes me cringe, and it's something that we need to be picking up on a little bit more. If anything, some people in the country were so angry the way the soldiers were treated, the way they were mutilated, that they were advocating that the military should go and level this in the village. You, I don't understand how people can get that angry, but then again, I see it all the time.
1 minute
Because
left, sir.
yeah, when you criticize somebody from another tribe, you see Nigerians, oh, they will be cheering it on. Then when you criticize somebody that is closer to home to them, then they'll fight you for criticizing it. It's like instinctive. It's inbuilt in us now, and it's a problem. We have to divorce ourselves from that, because it's not allowing us to build a proper system that is functional for all of us. This is what I mean by my analogy about the swimming pool. One person pisses inside a swimming pool, everybody, their own people defend them. Another person pisses inside another swimming pool, their own people defend them. Everybody's pissing inside a swimming pool on their own way. We all giving bribe here and there. Before you know it, we are swimming in the filth that we are swimming in now. The reason why the peace is what I call immoral act, because it's immorality when you refuse to judge things on an equal basis just because the person is close to you, and it leads to the rot we see in our system now.
Okay, let's bring it home in 10 seconds.
Yeah, I think I've actually closed out. Thank you on that.
Okay.
Can,
Well,
can, Nigeria, Mr. Mandit,
go ahead, sir.
can you just give me 20 seconds, I beg? You see, the problem Nigeria is facing, let me just spell it out here. Some of us need to go and look at our history and look at how Nigeria was ruled by the military and how activists came up and warned that Nigerians are being changed. Their psyche will be changed if military continue to rule over us. And the generation the military rule over, they are the generation now that are speaking. Some of them that don't have insight, but they just follow as the music comes. They are now the one reasoning to say, oh, floor all of them. They are bloody civilians. That is what the activists were preaching, and that was why they went headlong with the military, that the military should go. That is the damage. For more than 30 years, the damage the military has cost us. This is the damage. And you are seeing it now. In their voices, the generation that were born then, they are the one existing now. For well over 35 years, they are the ones speaking like the military force now. That is what the damage a military can give to his nation. That is why we are calling on them back.
Sorry, I left out the Tinubu's wife. This thing. I see. This is one of you can see clearly that she's completely unaware of her position in things, where she plays. It's like I don't know how our people do that. It's like magic, really. You literally are part of the problem, and you're acting as if it's the people that are not supporting each other that are the problem. The lack of self-awareness some of us have. That's why she's able to say what she said. Because she's saying that we should be supporting each other, but you don't see us doing that herself. The other day, she was on the street before the election when she was talking about Igbo people. The type of attitude we display, the- I'm telling you, this is what makes me really, really angry sometimes, where I feel like all these
Okay.
people that believe in these things, they all need to be held accountable. Nigerians that think like this, they have to somehow shake them out of this mentality because they are causing problems. They are really damaging our national health because in the future, things are just going to get what has since gotten any better for how many years now? Things just keep getting worse and worse and worse. And they are not tracking back and say, let's correct ourselves. This is gone too bad. No
Okay.
matter how bad it gets, they make excuse for it.
Okay. Thank you very much for the submission. I mean, the only thing that you said about the Nigerian military that I may want to probably say to is Nigerians are against military personnel being recruited because of how they are being treated. No, that's not true. On my own side, you are entitled to your own opinion, but that's not true. I believe that if they can do what they are doing in Delta today, Delta State today, that means there are enough manpower to go to the north. The terrain in Delta State is difficult to what we have in the north. So, but I mean, to me, that's my own suggestion, my own opinion. Okay, Mr. Jonathan, we'll come to you 5 minutes so that we can wrap up.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Give us a mandate. Thanks to everyone there. I just want to, quickly end on this Edo State matter. For me, as someone who is not advocating for any candidate in particular, I just purely want to hear each and every of these candidates. So I'm not going to be in a position, or it will not be appropriate. It will not even be balanced to say anything, about any candidate at this time. If I do, the obvious responses that always come is, let's wait for the campaign. Let's wait for the campaign to start. So I'm not advocating for any kind, not Olumide Akpata, just because he's carrying the badge of Labour Party. That will never happen. I'll be the most naive citizen if I'm advocating for Olumide Akpata just because he carries a Labour Party's badge. No, that's not going to happen. We need to hear all the candidates, all of them, things that we should be looking out for, from candidates. There are certain things at minimum standard that we should be. Kenneth Okonkwo said, he said, when a politician, when they are doing good and we think that they are delivering, we should ask them to do better. And when they are doing better, we should ask for their best. And you will thought that's enough. He said, no. Even when they are doing the best, you will say their best is not good enough. So it is a cycle. They will always go back. So for me at this point, it's just, yes, I will exercise that patience and wait for the campaign to start. The real issues are on the table. The basic things that we should be looking out for, they are there, they are on the table. And for any candidate that will not meet that minimum standard, I don't think that candidate will end up to be the right person to govern the state for the next 4 years. So, with respect to Abure and the Labour Party, and again the Nigerian Labour Congress, I'm kind of curious. When I heard that news earlier today, I was curious. I said, what's Nigerian Labour Congress doing here? I think it was yesterday. The news broke out yesterday. Yeah, I've been thinking about it. What's Labour Party? I mean, Nigerian Labour Congress rather. What are they doing here? And I saw a man today in a press conference. I think their information secretary or one of the leadership member of the Nigerian Labour Congress, and he came out and he was, Nigerians are so self-centered, so self-centered.
They will paint it in a way that you got to look deeper, look way out of. If you just stay with them, they will sell you.
Mr.
In fact,
Jonathan, you got 2 minutes more.
they will bury you and they will deliver you, because that's just what they do. Coming out, with one judgment, 2018 judgment. I was just asking, where were you in 2019? You don't care then. Everything is all about. I'm not giving it to Abure. I know Abure has overstepped his boundary. I know, for me, in my humble judgment, I know it is abundantly clear that he's a self-centered man. I know all that.
Mr. Jonathan.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Have you gone or make a research how the Labour Party was formed?
No. I know. I know that the Nigerian Labour Congress is an integral part of the process of the leadership, of the party itself, the Labour. I know. I'm aware of that. What I'm saying is this, is that why is the Nigerian Labour Congress at this point in time so serious about participating in the leadership of the internal leadership of Labour Party? Why now?
Okay, let's bring it
The stakes are higher. It's clear the stakes are higher now.
Because the stakes are high. Yeah, that is it. That the stakes are high now. So for me, it's not. It's questionable to me.
Let's bring it home now.
Okay, all right. I'll leave it at that. Right now, I actually wanted to talk about Gumi just briefly.
Go ahead, you can talk about that in one second.
Yeah, Gumi saying you can't declare anyone terrorist financier. Of course, the government can declare anyone a terrorist as long as they have intelligence. They have intelligence report to that effect. They can do that. And as for the Tinubu government to do anything, of course not. I know that they are not going to do anything. As I said earlier, I alluded to that earlier. I said normally what the government will do, they will not leave this hanging. You have the intelligence. If you are not sure, you will not bring it out. If you are not sure, you will not make it public. The moment you make it public, simultaneously, you are indicting them. Public, you are officially indicting them. If you cannot indict them, then don't make it public. So the question then is why? It is just for romance. It's just for romance only. Nothing is going to happen. I'll leave it at that. Mr. Black Panther, give us a mandate.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your submission, and to all of the panelists. I mean, everyone. We have it's been a long day today. Thanks, everyone. On the comment section, Madam Irene, you were saying that the APC kind of, I guess, is studying maybe leadership in school. Maybe I'm correct with that, or maybe so.
Which school be that? They don't come again.
He's studying leadership in university. So, but
somebody will get D all through with one C. Now you go get which school be that?
Give us some Black Panther. See, Nigeria is a country. There's nothing wrong.
The funny message.
Let me just say this: constitutionally, yes, he has it. No problem. He can go to any law court. He has a case. But the issue is that Nigeria is a country that thrives on mediocrity. Mediocrity, where that's where the issue of DDD and 1C comes in. Why will you even open your eye in the first place and bring that out and say you want to become governor?
Can you imagine?
So it's a country where mediocrity thrives. They live on mediocrity. They eat it. They sleep with it. They wake up with it. Excellence is nothing.
Okay, let me ask a question now. On a good day, let me ask this question. On a good day, I want to ask this question so that I can deliberate on it too. On a good day,
we are about to round up, so just ask the question and then we'll...
Okay. On a good day, Obaseki having 3 credits, is he worthy enough if we have to look into deeply to become a governor of a state?
Well, that's a question, and that's your own opinion.
The constitution might be different. The constitution might say, okay, if you have certificates, so certificate can be. But we are looking at what is inside you.
Primary 6.
Primary 6. But we are looking at what is inside you.
Okay.
Is it education that will bring it out?
Okay, will you allow us? I mean, you asked a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, even though consider say primary school, or whether we believe that the person must have A1 or excellent, or maybe some A's and then some B's and not D's. Well, regardless, we have countries where dropouts are thriving. They are doing great. You have country where people they even have education. Maybe they have the educational foundation, and then they become president, and then they are ruling their country. So for me, I believe that is in the character, the integrity of whoever comes to power. As much as we believe that result is by education is key, is fundamental. But I just believe that the character, the integrity of that people also matters. Look
But
at
you
what is
know that
happening.
give us a mandate. You know, when someone is looking for a job, they will say they will ask for some requirement, and they will
Yes.
also add in some instances they will
Mm,
say, in lieu of this, if you don't
mm,
have this, but if you have this, yes,
mm,
I agree. If
mm.
you don't have that education, but you have wisdom,
Mm.
see that
If you have
wisdom.
wisdom, you can prove it now. You will see it. He doesn't
Wisdom is
hide
the
himself.
key. Wisdom is the key. The
So
ability to, who are the people that you will surround yourself with? Are you going to surround yourself with crooks? Are you going to surround yourself with sycophants? That's where wisdom comes in. It is wisdom. If you don't have the education, I don't have problem with that. I don't have problem, but the wisdom. And when
but
you
but
start asking him question, I bet you it won't take half hour. You will know whether this man has wisdom or
but
not.
you know also that we talk about wisdom, right? And there are different side also to wisdom. There is the pure wisdom that, I mean, you know that this comes from, I mean, God is the giver of wisdom. But we have people that have wisdom, but they lack integrity, and then they get there. Most of these guys that you see in the floor,
I know, I know. I'm not talking of evil
he has
wisdom.
to
Good,
okay,
evil,
okay,
evil,
okay,
Can,
okay,
evil
okay,
too.
can
Evil,
I can I can I say something
evil too is
that
wisdom.
I am
Yeah, yeah.
disputing that fact? Look, you need, if you let me say you did not go to school, you only attended secondary school. You need to show your intelligence and be wise. You need to show your intelligence, because intelligence is not gotten from school, I believe. You need to show your intelligence. You need to be exceptional and prove yourself to us that you can do more than what the so-called. Okay, now, if you say you don't need school, you need wisdom, then the Methuselah can come and become our president now.
As long as
Let's
he
see
has,
how he's going to rule.
as long as he has primary six, he can.
If you have primary six, where will the intelligence comes from?
He can have the
For Christ's
intelligence
sake.
too. He can
well,
have it too. He
okay,
can have it.
okay, well, okay. For example, one thing I just believe that when it comes to the issue of governance, integrity, love for the people that you want to govern is very, very sacrosanct. The reason why we see what is happening in our country today is because these guys, they lack integrity, they don't fear the people, and they don't love the people. That's why you see people are being quiet, and these guys don't even care, because the love of the people that they govern is not in their hearts. Integrity, excellence, love for the nation, love for the people. These guys, they lack it. No wonder somebody can rule for 8 years without doing anything. There's no project
Absolutely.
you can point to, and you still have that infantry to want to nominate somebody that will continue from where you stop. Is that not like, where does that happen? You rule for 8 years. There's no project you can point, not even primary school. People have to go and volunteer to go cut grass in front of primary school. And you said you will nominate somebody that will continue from where you stop. That means the state will continue to go down and go
Give
down.
us our mandate. Let me tell you something. Has it not occurred to us now that we need to set up a standard that is higher than primary school? After
Peter,
exercising it for two presidents, we no go at all. One
Peter,
go, but he gave us something that we were supposed to build on. We refused to build on it. Then the two way no go, refused to build on what the one way go to build on it. So What are we saying now?
But Peter Obi is now, even though we know that he won the election, it was rigged, is now a standard. See, whether you believe it or not, Peter Obi is still a standard. And that's why people can reflect back and say, oh, someone like Olumide Akwata should go and see what Abia State governor is doing. And they all point to Abia State governor. Do you know Abia State governor? I mean, he works in the banking industry before he became a governor. And what he's doing today is not rocket science. What Alex Oti is doing is not rocket science. It's just that he loves his people. He has
But do you know that
integrity.
Jonathan loved the people?
My brother, what I'm saying here, Buhari and Tinubu, whatever insecurity you see in Nigeria today, was caused by these guys because they must come to power by all means. And see, Jonathan said something that his ambition is not worth the red oil of a Nigeria.
That is a man that loved the country.
But listen, even though there are corruption already in his own time too. What about the Ziani? What about the Ziani? So, but for me, I just believe that going forward, someone like Peter Obi has set a standard. Now, Peter Obi left Anambra, no pension. Have you guys seen what Soludo is doing lately in Anambra State? In fact,
Now I'm a professor.
in fact, I was pained when I saw this man. What's his name again now? This elderly man from Anambra also. There's this veteran, he's about 90 years old now, that spoke during one of the event that was held for Soludo, maybe 1 year in office and things like that. And I just wonder, did they bring this elderly man there to just come and say something when you know that the governor is not doing anything? Soludo to me basically is not doing anything in Anambra State. And here is a former governor of CBN. And he speaks like as if he has authority over everybody in Anambra State.
Soludo wants to be president now.
In where? In which country?
In Nigeria.
Well,
Nigeria.
I mean, if Tinubu can be a president, what more can we say?
They don't promise some. You know, they know what they happen. They don't promise some.
This man with lack of integrity, they just. So for me, Peter Gregory Obi is their star because the guy has gone beyond Nigerian politics. He deals on international politics now. There is character, there is empathy, there is compassion, you cannot govern the people. Tinubu, for me, I don't know. I don't know how Nigeria end up having this kind of character as a president.
You know why we're having this kind of character as a president? One, we have neglected education. It might not be education of degrees or the question of having big degree. That is not what I'm talking about. We have forgotten.
You don't call names again.
Oh,
no, I think we went around and we're about to round up because I think Mr. Evans gave us
it's
1 hour.
It's good to allow you to flow now and again.
Okay.
Maybe okay. Okay, so maybe Black Panther, you can moderate now because I'll be checking out. So you can moderate.
Okay.
Black Panther.
Who want to continue should continue. I think it's
let me just say something about the education thing that you're talking about. I think that is quite fine if people are well educated, but more importantly is when people are selfish for Nigerians, want the best for Nigerians, like you want for your children and family members, at least the family members you care for. So because at the core of it is that the idea that some of all these people, when the chips are down, they will select their own individual gain instead of that of the country. And the question is, okay, you can look at it from this point of view, say, okay, you have somebody that is a school leaver and somebody that is highly educated, PhD professor, but the professor, his own idea is very, very compromising to the nation. It doesn't help us like where we are right now. And the school leaver, he does not as educated as the professor, but cares about the people but lacks the ability to deliver in terms of impact this thing because of the lack of knowledge aspect of it. So, but there is a middle ground there where if that school leaver can deliver for the people, it's better to go with the school leaver. And if the highly educated person cares for the people, it's better to go for the the highly educated one. But if the highly educated one doesn't, and his mindset is colonizer mindset, whereby everything he does is thinking about how he's going to take his children abroad, how he's going to holiday overseas, all this, forget it. You don't even
Kinaja,
want that person at all.
let me tell you the education I'm talking about. The education I'm talking about is not the bogus one, BSc, master. No. The education I'm talking about, if you look at the Chinese, they educate their children and tell them the greatness of the Chinese people.
Exactly.
They tell them to have a mindset that you can do all better than any country in the world. They build their mind in a conservative way that love your country more than any other country. Likewise here in the US. They train every child in the US that United States is the greatest country in the world and they have the greatest military in the world.
Not a country that shy away.
Not the country that shy away from education. Finally, you don't want them to have every Nigerian child to have that mindset that they can develop their country by themselves. That is the education I'm talking about. And if you want to peg it with a standard, we can start from secondary school. That is should be a minimum standard.
Not even secondary school, even from primary school. It's not
just to build their mind to know that Nigeria is all they have.
See, a country that shy away from history can never build patriotic citizens. No way. True. Patriotism is derived from history. Children will learn it right from their childhood, even when they are still young. I gave one story here sometimes ago when I think something similar to this was being discussed, and I gave my experience in China because you mentioned China. That in China, right from primary school, they have a course, like a subject there. It's not anything. They just show videos of all the Chinese war, all the Chinese generals. It's just a video, and it's a subject. It's not like a teacher will stand in front of them. No, they will just slot in the video. They will watch a movie for 1 hour, end of class.
Can you imagine?
And I asked those children, I said, but you've been watching this for the last, now you are I'm talking to one who is the equivalent of like grade 10. We've been watching this since primary school. Having to exhaust all this. So he said, no. He said they have not. He said they have not.
You can see the mindset now.
They show them, all those wars. And those are, those black and white movie. They are not in color. Those black and white, those Chinese wars, every war, that's what they are showing them. And you ask them, say, what do you want to become? An average Chinese will say, I want to become a general.
That's it. I want to fight for my country.
So their patriotism has been cemented right from primary 3, primary 4.
And that's how Russians are too.
From history.
That's how to build a nation. That's how to build a nation.
One other area that we don't tend to cover is defining your nation against others. Like the Chinese communist regime now, they will define themselves against the West. The West will define themselves against the communist regime. Russia will define themselves against the West. You have to let your people know the potential dangers out there, and that is on that part we don't even do. It just shows all this stuff everybody just said just now about how we don't necessarily teach our people how to be patriotic. We do that with not differentiating us from other people too. And that is a problem, because that's why you see our people, the way we grow up and we educate ourselves, we don't mind serving other people forever. We don't understand our duty to our own people because we don't have that guidance. Our leaders don't do that. They make it sound as if they are being polite, like they are trying to play this game whereby their enemy will fall by accident or somehow they are going to trick them. and we are just going to be successful. You have to come out openly and represent your people for what they truly are, saying we are in this world, we are here to stay, and if you don't like it, you have to deal with us because we are not going anywhere. And you don't make apologies for that, and teach your children that, you know what, this is the world you are in. Like we all do it now. Like when you go to village now, you meet your father or great grandfather. One of the first things they do to you, they show you the land that they own in the family. They'll say, this is your land, this is your land. They are showing those things so that tomorrow you can defend it. But when
Tunaja,
it comes to our nation, we don't really tell our people
Tunaja,
that.
I want you to have, I pray you have somebody that is of the low rank is not an officer, very low, like all those recruit and sergeant or corporal. I pray you have an encounter with them, and I want you to exhaust questions, and he will tell to ask them, do they teach you people who is the citizenship? Do they teach them citizenship? They don't teach Nigeria Army anything like that.
Not at all.
If you go to the way they train Nigeria Army, they train them like rebels. Instead of them to train them like human beings to defend your country. When I watched one of their training, they were being torn, they told them to tumble inside gutter. That is not how to train soldiers. And you can't just suppose it with how ordinary small Finland, oh, where you know reach Ogun State and Lagos State, how they train their own soldiers. Go check them. It's online, everything online. Go and check and put them together. You will shed tears. Is this the people that will defend our country? They always call me bloody civilian.
Yeah, that thing it tells you now, because the colonizers, when they were here, you remember, we are not their citizens, so they treat us like subjects. So when the way they will do law enforcement is going to be that way too. And when they left, our so-called forefathers and leaders, instead of them to change those things significantly, the doctrine significantly, they kept it the same. They maintained many of the traditions is still based on the colonizers. They even talk about it proudly, as if it's something
Yeah,
to
you
be
are
very
right.
proud of.
You are
But
right.
this
Nigerian
problem,
police force,
but this
they still have the colonial this thing there. It's still there. Ask any
but this
policeman in
problem
Nigeria,
though,
it's still there.
but this problem though, in Nigeria, is it ignorance or deliberate? That is those that
It is
that
deliberate.
is it deliberate or is
It's
it ignorant?
deliberate. It's deliberate,
At
not
the top, it's
ignorant.
definitely deliberate. At the top,
Well, well,
when you get to the top, you get
can I
scared.
come
You
in?
don't want to. You don't want to challenge the narrative, and you just give in to whatever they
Can
tell you
I
to do.
come in?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, well, for me, I think it's part deliberate and it's part ignorant. For example, when I say it's part ignorant, you see, when history was removed from the curriculum, because we've been talking about history, how other countries, how they teach their children the history of their nations. But unfortunately, or advertently or inadvertently, it was removed from our own curriculum. I think if you look, the one of the reasons could be that they know that our history is not very kind. If it is something that you keep playing back, it will just keep causing division. People will see how the Civil War went, the conquest of different parts of Nigeria by different nationalities. That could have been a reason why it was removed, so that people don't look at this the checkered history. But they want to encourage the children to look forward to a brighter future. But if you look at it in another way, I think just removing the history like that in wholesome, it also spells a different kind of intention, because they could have looked at it from a different spectacle. What about, instead of just removing history, history, they could have selected, have modified the curriculum, and so that they leave behind those of histories that identify the nation, that lives the nation, that builds our nation. But as usual, our style, it's a case of one man knows it all. Just remove the history and that's that. That's why most of these young people they don't even know what where the history we have, where we are coming from, and where we should be going to. And if you ask me, we the nation that will compare ourselves to, we can see these nations they have clear goals. If you look at China, for example, they know what they want. Everybody almost understands what China stands for. The same thing with Russia, the same thing with the US, and even most European countries. But if you look across the continent of Africa, there's this tendency, what we usually stand for, especially the western part of Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, is just how the people will survive. It's about what to eat. It's about electricity. It's about basic of that shouldn't be the problem of the nation. Imagine all through Buhari's 8 years and starting from Tinubu's 1 year plus, all we talk about is ruga, 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 ruga. We are not talking about science. We are not talking about technology. We are not talking about laying plans down for the next 50 years. You know, if we have plans like this, for example, if the national dream, is to be able to have a nuclear power, not necessarily for military warfare, maybe for agriculture, for space technology, and for energy itself. You know, if we have this plan, for example, and we have that in all the secondary school curriculum, the primary school curriculum, you will see that a lot of these youngsters, they all will start trying to take up courses that will drive them towards those goals. And again, there is another thing we are all leaving behind. You see, being nationalistic or supporting your nation, it's not just something that comes by fiasco or by the whims and caprices of any person. It comes from a kind of it's like a spiritual connection to your nation. You see, when you can see that the nation at all point in time means well for you, when you can see that the nation gives everybody equal opportunity, irrespective of your race, tribe, or wherever you come from. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a need for
So,
affirmative action.
Mr. Chris, I'm really
Yeah.
enjoying your submission. I just want to add this to it. Maybe you can take it up together because you are kind of going in the right direction. I think, in my own opinion. So, what about the insertion of the quota system? Does that
Yeah.
promote patriotism and nationalism? The
That
insertion of
Thank
that
you.
was
quota
Thank
system
you.
is that
that was the
I mean,
next
can we
thing.
say that is ignorance or that
Yeah.
is deliberate or is it
No,
promoting
that was the next
patriotism?
thing I was going to talk about. You just took it off my mouth. You know, I just mentioned that is not to jettison affirmative action, and you came in. Affirmative action was the last word I used. Now, affirmative action or the quota system, affirmative action in every nation is important vis-a-vis the quota system. I have spoken against the quota system every opportunity I have on this platform. But today, I'm telling you guys that the quota system is also very important for nation building. But we have misused what the quota system actually represents. Now, the quota system means that we shouldn't just leave the weakest of us behind. That is what it means. That is why in Australia, the Aborigines, there's an affirmative action to carry the Aborigines along. The system is structured in such a way that technically the Aborigines they have the opportunity, to move along with the other people. Now, if we come to Europe, let's take the so-called most developed people in Europe, the Scandinavian countries, all of them. Do you know there's an affirmative action, the one we call quota system, that kind of make it possible for women to rise, to have the same opportunity as men. And one of those affirmative action is that in maternity leave, It is now compulsory that in Denmark, for example, it is compulsory that if the woman gets 2 years, the 2 years maternity leave must be spent by the man and the woman. So that if the woman wants to
It's
continue her
also in
career,
America too.
aha. So if the woman wants to continue her career, the man will stay at home for 1 year while the woman goes to her work and continue her career. But if they decide in the family that okay, only the man can go to work while the woman nurses the baby, that is fine. But there's a law that says that if the woman wants to, she can always have her 1 year. Now, coming back to our quota system, you see, our quota system, the North, they have so used this quota system as a means of entitlement, as a means of intellectual laziness. You see, if you have the quota system, it doesn't mean that um, just go whatever score you have or whatever. No, you see, everybody has what they can offer to the society. That is why they in this European structure, when you get to GSS 3, that's like 15 years, there's an exam they do. No matter the child of who you are, if you are not able to get the required grade, you cannot continue on the academic pathway. You now go to a higher institution where you can both where you can learn handwork and you also learn academics. Then the other guys will proceed on the pathway that will take them to the university straight away. So imagine if the quota system in Nigeria, for example, if we say that every position, no matter what it is, let's leave 70% for excellence and 30% for quota system. You can see nobody will be talking about this quota. But at the time you make it,
Simple.
if you make it in such a way that the quota system takes the lion's share, then it becomes a huge problem. Because if you allow more people to come in through the quota system, for example, the quota system produces 70% of the people. You know, these are the people that are going to rise up.
The purpose of the quota system is because every system has a level of balance that needs to be struck so it remains stable. And even Americans have that in the kind of the way they sell weapons to foreigners, whereby they will talk about balance of forces and the balance
Balance of trade.
of power in terms of, because if this is why you see, like, if China becomes powerful, America wants to fund Taiwan, Japan, South Korea to try to balance the power. Even they even have to bring India into it. So the idea is that systems become unstable if one side is too weak or one side
Yeah,
is too strong.
and that was
And and
I get the
and I
point.
think that's what is going on in Nigeria. That's why you see the
No, no.
you
What
see
is
that's
going
why
No,
on
you
no,
in
no.
see
That's
Nigeria
what
is
was going
different.
on in Nigeria.
What's going on in Nigeria is different. I'll tell you what's going on in Nigeria. What is going on in Nigeria is this: the kind of quota system we are operating in Nigeria is not a deliberate quota system to strike a balance in the society. Is a kind of a paranoidic quota system, in the sense that one section is afraid that if we allow these people to go, we are going to remain their perpetual slaves. So what do? We have to keep these people down. That is the kind of
so.
quota
But
system.
when you say slave, what that will lead to is instability.
No,
That is what
So
you are seeing now. Now,
Niger was, please, now let me just try and finish
no,
what
no.
I'm saying.
The point I'm
This is not,
making is I'm
it's
trying
not,
to let you understand that maybe
yeah, wait,
there's
I
is
understand Niger
about
was,
balance.
to Niger,
Mm.
it's, this is not politics. I'm not into politics. We just need to face reality. The kind of quota system we operate in Nigeria is a quota system based on fear, not for national unity, not for national growth. Because if you see the northern part, if you see the out of school children in the north, how come these guys in the north, they are not doing anything deliberate to lift these people out? 3,000 of Alimanjeri schools were built by Jonathan, and he laid a foundation for the continuous improvement of these schools. Do you know a northerner came in the person of Buhari? He did nothing. about those schools. He allowed every part of those schools to be destroyed because they create a system where they have the tawakalis, because these are the foot soldiers they use to remain in power. Because in the South, if any person is coming out, people can interrogate, but it doesn't work like that in the North. And the Northern elites, they enjoy these things. They just allow those people to remain like that. Whereas the remaining parts of whatever is available to the North becomes the remaining parts of the allocations given to the North becomes available to a very few, to the elites in the north, and that's why they circulate themselves. So if you see that kind of quota system, it's not helping any person, it's not helping the north,
No.
it's
You
not
see,
helping the country.
it's not dependent on what they are doing in the not necessarily. It's just because it addresses a specific issue, whereby one side should not necessarily escape with
No, and
the
to Niger,
velocity of
please,
the other. That is what.
please, to
Thank
Niger,
you.
Somebody
if you
making
want us
noise
to
with
go into
this thing.
politics again, I
I'm not
can do
talking
that
about
with you.
politics. I don't know
I
where
can
you
do
draw
that with
politics
you.
from what I'm
See,
saying. I'm talking about
the facts are
balance.
there.
It's
No,
not
the facts are
politics.
there. The quota system was created for
Black
balance.
Panther,
What I'm
mute your
saying is
mic.
that the North, the elite in the North, they are not using it. They are weaponizing it for their own political gains and advantage. That is just what I'm keep the people
See, if that
unenlightened
was the
so that we
case,
can keep using them for whatever we want to use them for.
maybe that is
Quota
true.
system
But
is a good thing.
see, you have to try to understand. If that was the case, then they wouldn't have any issue with us just going away, getting educated. They wouldn't have any issue with that. That's not their problem.
You
Because the
don't
people in
get
the
it.
north will still
I've
give them the
seen.
vote.
Mr.
Listen.
Mr.
No, wait.
Uh,
Let
uh,
me clear him. To Niger, sorry, Black
Mm,
Panther, let me clear him. They want what you have just said now would have made sense, but what they want is that they want that quota system, that quota now that is supposed to go to the whole north to come to a select few. So that
mhm,
quota they are still fighting for is for a select few. That is why you
mm,
have the likes of Sule Lamidu of Jigawa State. He has finished. Now his son is warming up. If his son
mm.
is not even the whatever, the one of the governors there. That is why you have the likes of see the quota system in the north. They are still fighting for it, not for the benefit of the general populace in the north, but for the select few, for those that are ruling them, for the ruling class in the north. You know this thing. That is how it works. Now, take for example, I'll tell you guys the effect of this quota system. I'm saying this now on the national media. Any person can take me up with this. It was part of the reason that National Hospital in Abuja had. Now, when National Hospital was built in Abuja, you see, when they employ people there, it is usually the children of the high and the mighty most of the time. And if you also go back to look at the records of these children, these were also children that probably got into the higher institutions because of their parental connection. And after graduating, so the tendency is that they were at the top front in getting job at National Hospital Abuja. That was why you
Mm.
had the crisis there
See, you can
at
argue the
National
same thing.
Hospital
The same thing
Abuja.
can be true in the south too, where you have quite a few elites taking their children overseas and doing. See, the point was simply making about that is that the people that crafted the reason why Nigeria is, at least we still manage to stay together without fighting, is a war constantly, is partly because of some of all this balance. Nigeria has done a lot in terms of like the other day the Senate ordered the police to recruit at least 10 people from all the local government areas in Nigeria. Because the way they do things in Nigeria is not normal actually. That's not how other countries do it. Other countries, you have lopsided disciplines or the kind of specialism in different areas of the country. In like here in the UK now, most of the leadership in the UK come from the south. Most, like vast majority of the leadership in the UK come from the south. Vast majority of the I wouldn't say vast majority of the resources, but most of the resources is generated in the south and is spent on the south of the UK.
Okay.
So, but in
So my
America,
guy,
it's a little bit more dispersed. Every nation
if you
has their
just hold
own.
on, If you just hold on, let's educate the people properly. If you say in the UK, the majority of the leadership comes from the south, yes. Do you know why it is like that? Because there's a ruling culture. And if people from other parts of UK, if they become interested in politics, the people from the south, or there are no laws that intentionally restricts other people from other parts of the country from becoming whoever they want to become. Take Leo Varadkar, for example. People talk about Obama. Leo Varadkar is a first generation Indian. He is gay. He's the Prime Minister of the Republic of Ireland. He was there before he resigned in 2017. He came back, and I think he said he's just going to resign again. First generation Indian. His father is from India, his mother is Irish. You understand? Now, this is
You know the
no,
Irish.
wait. Yeah, this is a country where you have the Irish people, especially people from the south. They are very, very keen on remaining in power. But when the system threw up Leo Varadkar, nobody stood against him. Nobody said it is my turn. Nobody said we are born to rule or we were born to rule.
But he wasn't
It
the
was
leader of
simply
the UK. He
Can
wasn't the
I make
leader of
an
the UK. He was
explanation
leader
so
of
that
Northern of
you
the
can
Northern
see
Ireland, if I'm
how?
not mistaken.
Can I make an explanation? Give an explanation, and you can see how they turn the quota system, and that quota system is now reacting back,
you see
making Nigerians. Are you listening to
uh,
me?
Black
Make
Panther. If
Yeah.
you just allow me to round up, I just need to
Okay.
round up 30 seconds. You see, this is the problem. We've been talking about national unity, national cohesion, development, progress, national goals. Now, we've just analyzed the major reason why Nigeria is not going the direction where it ought to go. But I think too Nigeria still wants to play politics because this thing is so clear to everybody. We are just still
It's not
trying to
clear.
argue
You
to
you don't
defend.
understand,
It's
but
very, very clear. You
I don't
see,
know
you
why.
are not seeing it.
I don't know why you see power. I don't know why you see politics there. I'm talking about balance of power, and you don't seem to
Yes, it
understand
is
that.
not balanced. Don't say balance of power. It is
Okay,
never balanced.
wait. Black Panther. Let me just. Sorry, I said I wanted to round up. Now, there was a national. What do they call that body again? These people that looked after the quota system. There's a body that was responsible.
Federal character.
Federal Character Commission. All through Buhari's time, 90% of the people from Federal Character Commission, they were all from the north. It was only Buhari's time you have the chairman of Federal Character Commission and the secretary, both of them from the same section of the country. And people talk and see, this is supposed to be because you are talking about balance, talking about equality, talking about fair play. This is supposed to be that body that was actually going to look over that to ensure that there is equality, balance, and fair play. And that body itself is already skewed to the
Yeah,
north. The
but you
facts
see,
are
but
there.
what he did there
Okay,
was,
let me
hold on?
give you
Can
an
I respond
example.
to him directly, Black Panther? Let me respond to him directly so that you can go ahead. See, what you did there, one, you dismissed the lopsided nature of the UK as, oh, this is how they used to rule and they are fine with it. We make an effort to try to do the right thing by spreading this thing, everything to everybody, taking different regions into account, to the point whereby we even created a lot of states where there should be no states there, so that everybody will have a stake in what is going on in the country. Still, the country is not functional. What does that tell you? It tells you that there are other aspects that are more responsible for why we are in the mess we are in. And we've already covered quite a few of them in terms of our mindset, the way we perceive our country, and the way we perceive our own individual actions as affecting the entire
Listen, what creates the mindset to
outcome for
Nigeria?
our nation.
To
See,
Nigeria, what
Tunaja,
creates the mindset?
Tunaja, let me explain to you. I
It,
guess you
it,
might not be,
it started,
you might,
sorry, let Black Panther go ahead.
I guess you might not have full knowledge of how Nigerian political scene has been. Let me tell you something. The quota system did not give Nigerians any arm before. The reason why I'm saying this is that we have had leaders, great leaders from the north. And they understood the quota system very, very well. It was working fine. Now, let's look at it. Shagari was in there. Shagari respected that quota system. It kept it intact. Every minister that he had spread across the entire country, but gave to some state that has, you know what I mean? He gave them some is from the north, which was well understood. And the federal character issue was intact. It did not break it. Even Babangida, when he was in power, he tried as much as possible to keep that federal character issue intact. There were instances, for instance, where a Yoruba man will be moved to one place, an Hausa man will come. They balanced it. But now came this political dispensation. OBJ tried as much as possible to balance it. But do you know what one state did in the north? He now wrote, you know, they have every state in Nigeria has what, you know, just like in Lagos State, some states write the bedrock of this country, some states write the food basket of the state. You know what Sokoto wrote? I don't know, I'm not very sure. Sokoto wrote, they are born to rule. You know the effect that one has on the psychological effect it has on even the indigene themselves. Not to talk about the state themselves. Quota system is beautiful if we use it accurately, and it has a lifetime, it has an expiring date. It is good to coax every federated state, every state together, so that we can have sense of belonging, which is beautiful. But when this man Buhari came in, everything, that born to rule instinct came in. And I want to give you an example. One guy spoke in, it was on Arise. It's from Kaduna State. I might not be very sure of the state, but it's from the north. Let me put it from the northeast. He said the oil in the Niger Delta in Bayelsa, that they own, the north owns it. He said, I'm just trying to tell you how that thing, that word, born to rule, have come into their psyche. Now, for them now bringing it out. Yes, it is their right, not the right of every other Nigerian. That is where the problem is. The problem is not with the psyche of the people that even own the resources, that the resources in their backyard. No. We would have started fighting when this oil allocation was being given to everybody, especially 65% to the north. We would have been fighting. But we said, look, we are still one Nigeria. But when that psyche now rose up and somebody from afar is not thinking of the man in the south whose environment is being destroyed, he's not thinking that he's my brother, but he's looking at him that he owns him and owns his resources. You see where that psyche, that word, I am born to rule, came in. This is what, look, I traveled in the night, 1999. I traveled in the night from Port Harcourt, Bauchi to Meduguri. Nothing. Everywhere free. They have one of the best roads you can ever think about. Well laid, well tarred, gutters at the same side. We were even wondering that this will get better road past us. We started blaming our own governors, our own military governors, and in the south. So those ones started doing things a little bit well, but not everything was intact. They gave us free food. Then they gave us free food. When we came in the night, they said, "Oh, my brothers from the south, they just put us one place. They gave us, when we got to Jos, that was the most beautiful site I've ever been. They gave us food, they gave us everything. Now the question is, what changed the psyche? What changed the psyche? That is the question. Not that the man in the south just rose up one day and said, "Oh, we need to change resources, blah, 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 blah." No. No. It was as a result of some few individuals that have taken that thing into their own blood and see us. These people have been indoctrinated into it. It is thing that I'm saying is not that I'm just producing it. In fact, it's right there on internet. You can go and research on it. What led to the Bayelsa for an oil block and being what? Because of what they got from their brothers from the north. That's exactly what is happening. So we need to know the cause of it and not trace it, so that we don't go political. This is not political. This is the raw. This is what I experience. And when you see somebody out there being angry that I hate the South, I hate it, you got to know the reason. You got to investigate it. He did not say it out of, or maybe I just hate them because I see them. There must be something wrong in there that you need to know. You can't just castigate him and condemn him. You need to know, so that you trace it backward and correct it along the line and balance issues. That is what we call somebody who is nationalistic. That is how it goes. We don't argue things out. If I say something contrary, you go investigate. You go ask questions. This is not political. I have said it. I travel from the River State to Maiduguri, the end of Nigeria. Beautiful people. They accepted us. They knew that we were from the south. They gave us everything. Gave us food, water. Somebody I don't know before, but they accepted me. Why is it the opposite now? That's the question I put forward.
See, can I quickly say something?
That's where the politics. That's where the politics, comes in.
Yeah, can I quickly say something? You see, what Black Panther just said, I have to reiterate that as late as you were talking about 1990 something, as late as 2014, just before the Jonathan's election, do you know that we close from Kotangura? There's even another town just close to Zamfara. We close from there 4 o'clock, and we drive all the way like 8 hours back to Abuja for the weekend. If we get tired, 10 o'clock in the night, 12 in the night, we can park anywhere in the north and be rest assured that these people will give you the highest form of hospitality. You are driving, the people are sitting on the road carefree. They don't care. Everywhere is so secure. In short, we start getting panic when we are getting close to Abuja and Suleja. But once we just leave Niger State, the whole of Zungeru, the whole of those areas, down to Zamfara, we are so happy, we are so relaxed. Do you know what it is to leave Zamfara around 4 p.m. in the evening and be driving all the way to Abuja every week?
Yeah,
for how many years?
That's
The
correct.
only thing we ever encounter on the road is accidents. You don't see any of these, what do they call them, these terror, nothing like that. But because of politics, they destroyed everywhere. Everywhere.
It's politics.
So that's the politics in it, Mr. Jonathan.
Yeah, that's the politics there. That's where the politics. It's not the ordinary Nigerians. Nigerians are hospitable people, they love people around. That trip that you just described now, from that axis, from Sokoto coming, you will feel safe. You see, when you get from Kaduna, that last 2 hours to Abuja, that's when you start feeling
Yes,
hyper.
exactly.
Once you get to that Suleja axis, that place is like that 40 minutes drive that you get you out of that zone. It's like
We come from
your
that
heart will be on your head, because
nine
that's
o'clock in
where
the night. We park. You see people by the road. They ask you what you want. These are the same note we are all afraid of. People are selling things by the roadside. Come on, these guys are so simple.
if it is Nigerian people. That's why when they talk about this regionalism, this question of for regional government rather. That's why if you leave it for the ordinary people, the ordinary Nigerians to decide, it's not an issue at all. It won't be a problem. It's all political. You see, the quota system, the derivation problem, that is what they are scared of. That is the northern oligarchs, the northern. They are scared to their bones. They don't
Yes,
even want to. It's a no-go area. Quota
exactly.
system is one. The other
Can you
one
guys
that
hear me?
yes,
Okay.
the other one that is killing them, is killing them. They don't even. They will say it's a no-go area. Is derivation. When they now start splitting the result, okay, let the people use what they have in their own region to develop their region. They don't want that. They don't want that at all. If you look the way they split the money every month, that is how they divide the money every month. It will amaze you. Then you will understand fast. Anybody that is saying, this is quota system derivation, issue is not it's not a problem in Nigeria. I would just advise the person just to start from. All you just need to do, just take a moment every month, go and check how they divide the allocation to
Mr.
each.
Jonathan,
Yes.
have you seen the allocation of this month?
Yes, I've seen it now. I
You
see
see
it
that
every.
Delta State has 36 billion.
Yes.
Uh-huh. You,
That,
you,
that,
you see you see how they divide the money?
yes. Yes.
Uh-huh.
When you see that thing every month, you see the amount of money they are getting in the northern Nigeria, and then you juxtapose it with the development in those states. It will baffle you where is the money going? The amount of money they are giving to these states. Most of them get more money than
But
even
there's a
more
question.
than
There's a
Niger
question,
Delta
Charles.
states. Hello?
There's a question I would like to ask.
Yes.
Now, when you look at the amount of money that they call allocation, what did Nigeria do to be able to make such money when we are not a producing country? Is
The
it
print,
internal? Is it
Mr.
internally generated revenue, or they just went to print money?
Give us our mandate. That is why.
I
That is
borrowed
why
money now.
now is borrowed money alongside printed money.
Hey, only God will save the country.
So they print. So every month, they print. You see this money that they are distributing, they print. Is not is it just go into that what they call it
Mr. Jonathan, let me
yes.
buttress one of your points you said when we started. You made one point there. I forgot it, but I've remembered it now. You made that point, and people did not look into it. As if I remembered, I would have spoken to the people with broken language. You see, you made mention of the oil block allocation, and you also made mention of the shares NFPC going PLC. Now the country has 51%, and all other people that we don't know, which we know in other way around, has 49%. Now, let me do the mathematics clear. Now, let me make it very clear now. The oil block that we have, 75%, let's say they're about is being owned by private individuals, spread majority from the north and about 4% from the south. Now, the 49%, look at how this money is being gauged. Then the remaining 49% in NNPC that turned PLC, it is still the same people that had the oil blood that came around, they are sharing the 49% right there. Including the 51% that is the Nigerian money. They are still doing what? They are still sharing it. That is the simple analogy. I don't have any economy there. That is what they are doing. That is why you see there is no money. That is why you see even the 36 billion that's given to Delta State, that money, half of that money, the state governor will sit on it. How can you have 36 billion? Let me say average given to Delta State.
That money they are getting now, if you look at it, is that money is 125% higher than what they got last year. That is
because of the valuation of the currency.
That is what they are getting now. If you go to each of these states, if you look at what is happening there, most of them have not even paying. They are not paying salary and pension.
They are not paying at all. Yeah. But they are paying themselves security allocation.
That's the problem that we have in Nigeria.
There is a lot of fraud in the system. That is why if I begin to pinpoint all the fraud, and every one of us begin to pinpoint, you will just conclude that you need to tear this thing apart and form a new thing.
Let me tell you one of the fraud. Obaseki is spending about 60 billion to maintain his office, the office of the deputy governor, and that of the entire House of Assembly people for their own
60 billion
just running cost. Go and check Edo State's budget. Just no basic, nothing that has to do with infrastructure, just basic things, taking care of just things between him, the deputy, and the State House of Assembly. And you want me to support the person that guy is going to present? It's not possible.
It's 60 billion.
Yes, no.
It's there.
Jesus Christ.
That's the problem we have in Nigeria. That's the reason why when you ask where's the money, the question give us a mandate asked earlier. And where is the money coming from? The money they continue to print money. See, it's just so sad. Nigeria is so sad that the people that are there is just like thank God that we are not in the military junta era, where some group of military junta will just But anyways, let's just leave that aside because what they are ravaging right now, the amount of money that they are ravaging is mind-boggling.
Yeah,
the amount of money that they are stealing right now. You know why they are not. You know why Nigerians will not know how much money we have now, and they cannot come clean to us. They have leveraged everything. They have leveraged everything. Is that one that we saw some few months ago that they got $3 billion and they gave up 12. They will pay back with $12 billion worth of crude oil. That one was a child's play. They are still doing it tomorrow. They are still doing it tomorrow. So somebody asked a question earlier today where they got the 7 billion to pay. See, they still got another one from World Bank, not World Bank, IMF. They still made another arrangement with IMF about $1 billion.
Jonathan, I want you to do me a favor.
Yeah.
Please go online and check Venezuela as a state, what brought about their downfall. Just check it economically.
We're on that.
You will know when we were saying this is like Venezuela case. Venezuela, the same thing we are doing now. They were borrowing until one day the thing collapsed. It collapsed. They cannot even recover.
The lenders, the people will borrow you money with. They will show up one day. You
God.
see, it's not different. The way the lender will come and knock the house of a man that borrowed 2 million naira and say today is the day I'm getting my money back. It's the same thing with sovereign government. Oh. People do it's the same. One day will come that the lenders will come and knock. It's only
They've
that they will
already
do it
started coming now. Which one of
they
the
will do
land
it
they're
in an
coming?
official
Kenya.
manner.
Kenya, they've taken over their airport and their seaport.
It's the same process. They will just come in and then you will see them. They will be running a scatter there. They will not tell Nigerians what is happening until one day katakata will burst. You will just wake up. You will see how naira will just drop like pure water.
Mr. Jonathan, you know one funny thing about this whole issue. You see, that is why I always try to look at other economies that have similarity with us, and also I also look at a country that has the kind of tribal, you know, how their tribe is widespread in their country and how they have annexed it and make it a thing that make them be a superpower in the world right now. I try to study it very well and bring it. And when I run through Venezuela, that was when I ran a conclusion that Nigeria might go that way. And thank God, the people out there that are not even Nigerian, they've already concluded it. You see, the way we are going now, that is why that's why I'm not. Look, I know they're scared. I know they're scared though. Where we are going, so you see all these people that call themselves millionaire, they will get tired and they will get fed up. They will run out. All of them will run by themselves. No war, nothing. No, they will just run. They will run because it will get to a level. They said, "Oh, borrowing is good. Borrowing is good. It's good. Okay, continue borrowing. Let us continue borrowing without not producing. Let us continue borrowing. When we borrow, all these shenanigans we are doing. Oh, Agbado stole the election. He did it. It will come to a time, no election for you to stick. You will run. You don't want to be a president again. Because there's no way out. You don't have money to work as a president. The money is in the hands of individuals that you cannot even approach. You can't fight.
You know what? That is
where we are going to. Everybody will just take off.
One area where average Nigerian supposed to know say this government is don't turn to something else. Money no there at all. It's very simple. It's just very simple. Just take a look at the student loan. I don't even want to call it
that
policy.
one. Don't even go there. They can't.
See, that one will tell you the risk. That one will tell you that there is no money there.
There's no money there.
How do you want to? They know. See, the truth is this. The truth is this. They know that to fund student loan in Nigeria efficiently, effectively, they will need at least at the minimum, 3.5 trillion naira to start with.
Simple.
To start with. That even means that, see, divide 10 trillion naira by 200,000. How much money we get into the hands of one student? We end up in the hand of one student. If that money will fund education for 1 year in Nigeria,
they know if you do that one,
just 200,000. And the number of people that will come after this student loan, they are more than 200,000. So that tells you that even the 3.5 trillion is a no-brainer. But that is the minimum that they need. We all know Nigerian government they paraded 5 billion naira. 5 billion to 3.5 trillion. Are you kidding me now?
Jonathan, let me give you information. You see that? Did you watch when Mr. Obi was giving an award? Did you watch the speech of one of the northern governors?
Yes.
That said, my leader, Obi.
Yes.
He's not a Labour Party member.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Thank God you watched it. That man is very learned. He's very, very intelligent answer man that I've seen too. You know what he did? After listening to Obi, he went back to his state. Do you know this man bought more than 5,000 tractors now?
That's Niger State governor now. Yeah.
Yes, he told the president to come and launch. The president just waka go there, go launch, and he want to take and make political game, but he no fit. Because that man is a smart guy. Look, that guy saw something in Obi, and Obi told them that the money that can be accrued from the north, especially Niger State, can feed the entire African nation. People never believe this thing. This thing is wisdom. And that man took that thing Obi said. He said, this man that everybody's against, there's something this guy has seen in the north. This man is a resource person. Let me do it. The guy went, never reached 1 month. The guy he don't set ablaze the entire land now. They don't begin to till the soil. While others say that they look Abia State governor, they build the electricity, they look the guy now. When this guy will come out with results, they will all be clapping hand for him. But they don't know that it is better for you to learn from that man. There's something in that person that everybody hates that you can tap from. There's wisdom. This is what we call wisdom. Tap it. Test it. It's not your money. It's the state money now. It's the everyone money. Use it to till the soil. Forget this mineral resources that they kill themselves for. Till the land. Feed your people. If you feed your people, there's nothing greater than that. When you feed them, they will have sense of belonging. They will know that through their state, they can become who they want to become. Wow. It's just a matter of tapping the resources of every region. That is why I look at it. We have missed it all along. Even the people of the north have missed it, or they are still missing it.
Yes.
Look at Dubai, Qatar. Dubai, just Dubai. They couldn't even till their soil. They only know about fishing. But because they discover oil, do you know what they did? They are farming in the desert now. They are growing their vegetable in the desert. They employ Americans. The American scientists, they went to the desert. Now, go and Google it. You see there.
You are talking of forward. That's when you are talking of forward thinking.
And we have a land, in vast land, and we are looking at oil. While the Western world are saying we are moving to electricity, we are looking at oil. Oil. Dubai now. Dubai is going far from oil. Go and look at Dubai economic policy now. They are going far from oil.
You know,
they are building infrastructure that will make money.
You know why? You know one thing that technology will do if they go, or what advancement we do, it will reduce corruption. It will block all areas of stealing.
Every area.
Practically. That's why in Nigeria today, as one of the panelists, I believe earlier in the week, emphasized something. He said they are still building boreholes in 2024 because they can steal through that is borehole. People are talking. You are talking of people, doing agriculture in desert.
Can you imagine? So I was shocked when I saw it.
Because when they do boreholes, they will steal. Right. There will be room to loot themselves. Like a drunkard, he will see free drink. He will drink himself.
Do you know that? Do you know that the Dubai you are seeing today? It took them just 20 years. That you are seeing there, so that Dubai, just 20 years. That is the picture of 20 years hard work. But it's on internet now. We see we are the wonder of the world is Dubai. They are farming now. They are fishing now. They have gone nuclear with fishing now.
Yeah, when you look at Nigeria, sometimes again you just laugh. Sometimes you just have to turn it to laughter and laugh it out. When people are building, we saw the other day when countries like China are using like $15 billion to build bridges Look at the length of the bridge that they built. They are still pouring cement on the road in Nigeria. You see,
can you imagine?
I mean, the disparity is day and night, difference. You can't even compare it. There's in this age, 2024, it is cement they are pouring on the road. I don't know where.
Do you know the last time? If you remember, during was it during Babangida time or during Obasanjo time? They wanted to change the building policy of Nigeria so that they can be using bricks to build houses. Did you remember? They wanted to change it, but some hoodlums in government said no because they are into that thing called cement, which is free, which go to Benue. All those things are free. We have everything. We don't import anything, and yet cement is off. Why? We don't know. We don't import anything to produce, to build, to make cement. We don't import any raw materials at all. We have everything, no additives. Everything is right there. The only thing what you talk about is bringing in the machineries, which is a long time investment. Where you have your resources, and other things are just something that, yes, as a businessman, you got to invest in it to bring in machinery so that you can, really go into full-blown manufacturing.
It is a long-term investment. What normally, when you see a serious government, a government that is really serious, you will go to all your universities. You will empower them. You will empower research and development.
Research seats. You will empower, make it mandatory for industry to fund them.
In fact, you will every machine, you will go and get them. You will take them. Each university will have a mandate. This is what in 10 years, you must come up with this.
Boy.
In 10 years, you must come up with this equipment, this machine. That's how China did it. let me give you one example. Because most of my business are from China. As a company I work with in China, it's a manufacturing company, and they told me normally they used to get their machine from Germany up till early 2000, up to 2005, 2007, up to 2005, 2007. It is the Germans. They get all their machines from Germany. But what they did was that they empowered their universities. They get these machines from Germany. It's like they take these machines to their universities. Today, everybody is buying this equipment from China.
You see?
Everybody is buying this equipment from China. Today, now you go there now, this machine is running. In fact, they have gone haywire. The system, the way and they started from nowhere.
Mr. Jonathan.
Yes.
Do you know that we produce armored cars in Nigeria for the militaries? Presently, as I'm speaking, we are supplying Niger Republic. We are supplying Togo.
Is it true Inoxin or one of the auto manufacturers?
Not be Inoxin. It's there online there. You go see it. They don't even hide them. It is from Ogun State.
Oh, okay.
There is one Yoruba guy that is producing one of the best armored tank. I forgot the name of they call it. The best presently is the best in Africa. He has supplied all the way to Egypt. He's supplying Egypt as we are talking. It's in what do we call that place for Otta. It's right there. Google it. You see the man. You see how he's building it. All this armor. If you get your car like this, your car now, like Mercedes, you can carry it to that man. That man will turn it to armored. It will armor everything. No scratch.
Wow.
And yet to the import.
Yeah. Is it that?
You're actually right. That guy, they featured him on TV scene like
Yeah.
3 or 4
Thank
years
you.
ago. He's a Yoruba guy, quite young, and he
Wow.
supplies not just only African countries, supplies some other foreign countries. You know, I think somewhere in Ogun State or around that environment there.
It's Ogun State in Ota.
You see the example Mr. Jonathan was giving earlier. If it was Nigeria now, you see that engine you are talking about, they will now be looking for how to site it in a place that will cover quota system. That, yeah, because
Oh
that is why
my
you have
God.
that is no wait
That
that
is a
is why you
problem.
have refinery in Kaduna. Do you know what it takes to pump oil all the way from Delta to Kaduna? So when Dangote was setting up his refinery, why he not set them up for Kano?
Eh,
Made them from
made a
rivers.
pumper.
So we all know what is right. We
Mhm.
all know what is right. Imagine you pump crude oil all the way from the creeks to Kaduna just because of the so-called balance forever that they are advocating for. You see why it's difficult for the nation to move forward?
Yes, of course. Of course.
Just imagine the waste.
I'm very sure if they can find their way and tell Inoxin to go and have one in Kaduna, have one in Maiduguri, then they will see how they can push it. That's their language, your political language. They will see how they can push it through, where government can now start, purchasing, make it an official, or make a law, where government will start purchasing. But because it is situated in one part of the country alone, it is not their own. There's no way for them to get involved. There's nothing. There's no way they can use quota here. That's why there's this blinded eye, even when it is crystal clear that this will bring economic development to the nation. And till today, they just folded their arms. And then you say, and that is a government that really want to grow the country. That's a fantastic opportunity in front of you if you are a president, if you are a leader of that country. Those are the first thing you will do, in your first 30 days. I'm not talking of 100 days, your first 30 days. Those are the first thing, because it's on the table for you, on the platter for you. Those are your, they say low hanging fruit. This is even low. If there's anything lower than that, that's what you want to capitalize on, but they won't see all this money that they are distributing, all this money that they are siphoning all over the place. See, if they give it to small businesses, really small, not that even now to distribute money to small businesses, as bad as it is in Nigeria, they will apply quota. You see that we have not started, because they will still apply quota. If they say it is 2 trillion naira, 300 billion must go to, they will say they want to distribute it across the 6 geopolitical zone. We have not started. Resources should go, when it comes to economic development, to where the talent, to where the resources, the rating, where it is. That's where you want to focus on. Who cares whether it is in Maiduguri, or
The
whether it
quota
is
system.
somewhere, or
The
whether
quota
it is
system.
somewhere in Ebonyi State? Who give a damn about that?
The quota system has made Nigeria lazy. Very, very lazy. I think it's high time. That's why I said one thing, that we should note this very well. Look at India. India is a reference that I always make. The reason why I'm making India as a reference, as a case study for everyone to study, it is because India, even their tribes, is even more than us. And what is happening? India is a secular state. What has happened in India now? They have sent something to the moon. Their people to the moon. They've sent their stuff to the moon. And we are here complaining, oh, you are tribal. Tribalism. Tribalism will not be our problem. There is beauty. I've already said there's beauty. There's a reason and purpose why we are together. It might not be the calculation of the creators. They might not be perfect in their calculation, but there is a purpose why we are together. Indians went through hell more than we. Go and look at their history. The British dealt with them like hell. But what happened? They harnessed their resources, they harnessed their tribe, and became what we are, what they are today. They worked hard. And now look at where we are. Because of just oil, resources. Look at the way they are dancing like ants, looking for sugar to come and leak. Now they are forgetting that they have people, they have brothers and sisters, and this thing they are doing has a time limit. That is why I say it. Go and look at how Venezuela, one of the richest nations in South America. America was adoring them. They had money. They were paying their citizens monthly without no work. Go and look at them today. They can't even fund their government as it is today. All loan blocks.
Of course, now
they can't give them loan again because all their resources, their oil, is being taken by those that gave them loan in the past.
Yes, now
they can't do anything. If they call it, they'll just come take over the government, take over the country. That's what they would do. People don't know the effect of borrowing. You don't want to harness your resources you have. We have intellectuals. We have great Nigerians. Is it not a Nigerian that brought a baby out from the womb in America here, treat the baby of what he had, and put it back into the womb of the woman? Now the baby is living strong. Beautiful girl. And we are saying we don't have intellectuals. What will stop a Nigerian government from building? In short, let me come on Nigerian government and let me talk about those people that call themselves billionaire and millionaire, and those Nigerian artists that are throwing money all around, buy private jets. Look, what does it cost them to build a children hospital? Raise a fund among you people. Do something that history will speak about you. Look at in Dallas here, we have children hospital. Tell me who is funding the hospital? They only get little grants from the government. Everybody, every American is funding that hospital.
You know they are fair. You know the reason why the reason why they are not doing that, and they will not do that, even despite the fact that this money, they have this money, even they stole the money. Yes, fine, we all know. Is the fear that whatever they do with the money in Nigeria, those things could be taken away from them.
But what about the artists that are buying private jets that has 1, 2?
You know, those ones, they know that, you know, those, you see, the way when they bought those private jets, you see, the way they do it is that they list those private jets. So it is not entirely like as in under their name, right? So even when you see those private jets parked there, you cannot go and lay your hands on. It's just like somebody who got a car on lease. That car technically is not your own. It belongs to the lease company. And that's what they do with those private jets. I know that's what they do because I know that's what they do. So they
because what we are saying, what I'm saying is the reason why I'm pointing my fingers to them is like this. You know when there was a Katrina that struck in America, that in one city, it blew a lot of home down. Just one person, the lady, one of the richest lady in America, Oprah Winfrey, just one person, he raised a fund and built more than 1,000 homes and gave it out free. I gave it out free.
They can't do that in Nigeria. Is it Nigeria?
Sometimes I see them, I say, look at these poverty-stricken artists that we have. They are calling them, they are poor.
What does it take in Nigeria to build 1,000 homes? I mean, 1 million homes.
Hey,
What does it take? 1 million. Even if you want to build it across the 6 geopolitical zone based on population and the density of the state, or of the density of the area. So you can build. What does it take? It can be completed within 6, 7. If you are a president and you want to be there for 8 years, you can complete it. Because money
very
is
cheap
there.
home you can build.
Yes. And then I build 1 million, and all this one they are distributing money to people. Say they are giving them palliative in terms of money. Those are wasted money.
You see, we know the reason. You see, when I meet an artist, he has in his account. These are I dey watch them every time. I know how their money they grow now. One Nigerian artist, I won't mention the name, has well over 100 million US dollars in America. Money in America. What this guy does, the money they pay him weekly from all this site is more than $200,000 every month. That's one part of it too. A Nigerian artist, and yet he cannot even boast of building one cottage house in his country. To give to say people, or have one thing to sponsor children to school, or give to the homeless.
It's a mentality.
And they are gallivanting around, say they are rich, they are millionaire. You are not a millionaire now, you are a thief because you are not being taxed.
Yes, that's it. The problem, their fear, as I said, is that they don't want to do anything good with their money in Nigeria because they know that one government can come tomorrow and just take everything away just by one stroke of the pen.
Who is going to take hospital that you build? Hospital.
No, it will not. See, they know. You see, let me go a little back to history. These people, they know Nigeria. They know they are not naive. You remember in 1975 and 1976, when Obasanjo nationalized all the oil companies in Nigeria. That thing is in their brain. You see, a government can come in and say, okay, yes, it is your company. And they also know when the Nigerian government kicks out all the schools, all the private missionaries out of Nigeria, took all their schools, and look at the state. It didn't take them a decade before they turned those schools to mushrooms. So they know this.
Decade. You don't take 5 years now.
5 years. So they know the brain. They know that a government can come. You can build hospitals. Use maybe $1 billion. Stolen money, fine. Stolen money. You build it, fine. And people are enjoying it in the country. One government can just turn around tomorrow and say, okay, that hospital, they are taking it over. They will take it over. And then if you talk, they can even tell, they will just probe him, put some things around him, and then, just rope him in. And that's it. That's what the case he will pursue for the rest of his life.
Well,
so they know all these things. These people are not ready to play.
As I did, so one thing that I pray, God should give me the money that I'll use to invest. You see that hospital issue, they pay me for my blood. Because I know what that one can do in a country.
See, what they don't know is because, you see, we're talking about wisdom earlier. About people that have wisdom, people that have integrity, and knowledge. See, most of these, at least we know most of these governors. Is it not one now that has a primary WAEC? He wants to use WAEC to become governor. There is nothing wrong in that.
We get the everywhere.
We know the one of Ogun State, that one that, with his mock shots for US there. We know Bajami Amila. We know all of them. These people are crooks. See, normally to bring development, it's not rocket science at all.
It's not rocket science now.
I can tell them for free in Nigeria, a governor can develop the state without borrowing $1.
Shishi.
without borrowing $1 like this. You can bring the resources, take the money from the. You see, these Oyibo people. The problem is that Nigerians don't what they have. We have Nigerians all over the world. There are Nigerians that can do this. There are Nigerians. You see, you don't need even $1. I mean, $1 to develop. If just take one area of development, say for example, medical, the one you talked about. I want to build 2-3 hospitals in my state. You will get the money. But you see, their mentality is that they want to run to Abuja at the end of every month, go and collect the allocation, come back, siphon,
it's very painful.
You know, it's just a cycle, repeat, you know, rinse and repeat. Then the following month, send his commissioner of finance to Abuja, get allocation, siphon, the one they want to siphon, look for dollar, the one they will, you know, the dollar they will look for. They just do it month in, month out, and before you know it, 4 years is over. They are looking for another 4 years. If he gets it, fine. If it's unsuccessful, it doesn't matter.
There's one insurance.
He has kept enough already, at least for that 4 years.
This Nigeria, it was a good country before.
Of course.
I'm telling you the truth. I know what I benefit.
A little bit of it, just a little bit. And that time, people will still even say Nigeria is not good, though. But when you know,
before I left Nigeria, I have insurance. Na card. It was organized by United Nations. They test run it in Nigeria. I was a beneficiary. Nobody say I go hustle for Amo. They just meet me. Say, do you want insurance? I say I want. Oh, how far? How much? He said he's just paying 1,000 naira every month. I said bring 3. I want to give to my brothers. That was that. I wanted to test them. I have money. I wanted to test them if it works. They now designate me to Maryland zone because they zone the whole state. They now give me all the hospitals in Maryland. And we have beautiful hospitals, good doctors. Then, during Obasanjo time. I had malaria. And I went there. To my surprise, if you see the way they received me, they put me down. Okay, give me your card.
Yeah, I remember. You see that thing you are talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I had that thing. I had that one. Even for my own fine, 2001, 2002, 2003.
Yes.
Yes. I know now.
A lot of my friends, I had to tell them, go collect your own. Now, don't say they sick. I come here and give money for hospital. No, lily. All of them went and collect, and the thing was working fine for us.
It was working fine.
Until one boo, all of them just come, gotta spoil everything. But Buhari say everything you want to do, carry it to the north. Mm-hmm. Look at how he divided the country. And they'll say, that's how they divide the country. Mm-hmm. A man say, United Nations, all the projects you are going to do, carry it to the north.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that?
It's on record now.
I'm telling you that is on record. It's official. It's official now.
Carry it to the north. And people get quiet. Everybody get quiet. They look up.
That statement is there now.
Then when I talk, I say, "Oh, I'm dividing the country." And do this. You see how Nigerians are. They will subject themselves to these political rascals that we have. They will pay you peanuts. You come and be defending them instead of you defending your country. I keep on saying that, look, the only way to take these rascals out is a convenement of a national constitutional conference. And we must sign it. The military will be there. They will carry their gun. Oh yeah, Mokuna Duam. We must provoke one thing today. Mokuna, if you are not doing it, come outside, open the other part and say, no, I won't sign it. Make the carry gun, put for your head like this. Because that is the only way we can do, because I don't see anything there that you don't want to form a constitution that will make a rebirth of a country so that everybody go get everything. Everybody go get, even, I was even proposing that every state should have an oil rig. Let us give it to state. Let us stop giving to individuals. Every state in Nigeria, let them have one oil rig.
That's a state crime now. Giving
No, 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 no,
oil.
no, no. It's not.
Giving to individuals.
That's the problem we have now.
Giving it to individual. That's a treasonable offense as far as I'm concerned. For me, giving the national resources to one individual to corner it, and then
that was what. When I was in school, I was a member. I became the PRO of the Niger Delta Union, Niger Delta Student Union.
Okay.
I became a PRO when I was in Port Harcourt. It was newly formed. We were just the first people that came in. You know what? The argument I put forth, it looks like not a very popular stuff, but I don't know what came into me. But I just put it forward. I said, look, since this oil might be our problem, instead of dividing money, say divide money every day, divide money, let the federal government offshore, they own all the oil. Let them hold that one. Then all the onshore oil, we have enough. Let them give it to each state, but the state that has the oil should be given like 4 or 5. Then other states should be given 1. Then let us see if development will go happen. Let us see who go fight each other. Let us see the mafia that will take over the oil stuff. Let us see if they will be interested in NNPC anymore.
That's not.
These are fundamentals. It's not a rocket science. It's one Nigeria.
It's not. They won't do. The Northerners won't. They won't go for that. You know. The northern oligarchs will not. They will not go for that. Even it is still to the advantage, but they won't see.
Yeah, now. You go invest in oil. If you want to carry the oil, drain them from Bayelsa, carry pipe, go reach your father's house, do them, so far on our own. Sell them, but they pay tax to the federal government. Federal government has enough money to have a strong military, to have a strong police, and give every state. Let me see any state that will say, I won't have my own state police. Because you have one oil rig that gives you monies in the billions every month. You pay tax to the government, and you still collect your state tax from the company that you have signed agreement with your money they get again. So, and the internal generated income that you get, this is not rocket science. This is if we are dedicated to our country, if we love our country, if we want peace, if we want brotherhood, let's convey a national conference. And the clause will be there. We are not breaking. We must write our own constitution that is African. Let us try it. And if other countries won't follow us.
That breaking is what they are afraid of.
I don't know. Nobody's going to break.
Isn't that breaking? Once you mention that thing, they will stood up.
That's the problem they are having. The national conference, they did the GJ convey one. We break.
Yeah, because the power of the president. Jonathan was bent on that, on conveying.
Jonathan mean well, but people say though he had some lapses, but this is a man that is well read, and he subjected himself to the people to listen. How are we going to get out of this quagmire? All the people that came, let us convey a constitutional conference, back it with law. Let us go in there and make a new constitution of our own. Let us see how we're going to work ourselves out.
How I wish Jonathan that time just decided to implement, to execute the.
I wish he signed that. Look, there's some sacrifice a president need to make. Yes. Whether it takes my life, I will do it for Nigeria.
Yeah, it was a political calculation that after the election.
That is the problem they have now. That's all Nigerian politicians. That's the problem they have. Everything a calculation, political calculation. They won't even think about their country.
It was a political calculation that will do it. That if he tried to implement it before the election, he might just lose the presidency, which you did anyway. At the end of the day, you lost the presidency. So,
but he refused to put feet on the ground. That is the problem I have with him. He was scared. The problem was that he was scared.
Yeah.
He was thinking that, oh, I will break the country. Which country they break? Buhari don't do the wars, he break. These are the things we only talk about. It's not easy to break a country.
No.
But when they continue, like, because when you have a large country like this, like Nigeria, when the impunity continues, it will get to a stage,
Right, it is
all the people
inevitable.
perpetrating evil, they will run. They'll say they don't tire.
Yeah, breakup will be inevitable now if this impunity
That is it now.
continues.
They will tire. They say, we know they do again. Make una go. We don't get the money. We'll come out because these people, they'll go carry gun when they come into us inside house. That is what they'll be thinking.
Nigeria is already on that trajectory. Time will tell.
That is what I keep on telling them. Me saying constitutional conference, I'm doing a lot of help. They don't know. I know why. Even Osekomen knows why he's preaching that thing. If we don't do it, we'll break.
Yes.
You give leverage to these people to break it. But if you do it, they sign it, we can break.
No, we can. Yes, that's true.
That is simple. We can break. But when you begin to force it, you get level go reach now. Even United Nations say move cut up.
That breakup will be inevitable at the end.
You go reach one level. United Nations go advise.
The way Nigeria is going right now is not sustainable at all. It's not.
It can never be sustainable because the people are too greedy. They won't get the whole world through Nigeria.
Okay, we leave it at that, Black Panther.
Yes, so have a blessed night. Tomorrow we meet again.
You too. Thank you very much. Wonderful evening. Thanks.
I'm gonna try. Good night, everybody.